Hello, my good and gorgeous people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Glad, happy, and excited to be back here. It's yet another lovely moment that we're here to have some talk, to have some conversation. In case you're new to this place, you're so much welcome. Kindly remember to subscribe. And for those who are just coming back again and again, thank you so much for always coming back to support your girl, Latez. And before I forget, happy new month, happy August. And it's now a reality that 2026 is coming to an end. Who would have thought that this year would also last this March? I'm surprised that we are now in August, just counting months to December, and it will be a done deal for the year 2026. But all in all, we give God all the glory for enabling us to see this extent, for his love, mercies, and kindness. And I'm glad to see this month of August. Reason being, I don't take anything for granted because life lately is so uncertain, and at times just having a privilege of even seeing tomorrow is something that you need to be glad about. So I'm glad and overjoyed to see this month of August, and I'm really anticipating for March in this month, and I'm really waiting to see God answer the prayers that I've made for this month of August. And as you know, our talks lately have been about that is, yes, Latez here is very overjoyed getting to 30. We are still in our series of that is. I'd purpose to finish this series by the end of July, but before I finalize this series of Latez at 30, there's something that I would like to share with you guys, and this is about expectation and realities that we always have just before we get to 30. There are those things that you had really anticipated and you're very sure that these things I will have attained them by 30, and now comparing them to the reality. The expectations you had by the time you're getting to 30 and not the reality. For those who are in your 30s, or maybe you're 29 and you're now looking forward to join to 30, I want us to have this talk and this discussion. Are there things that you really look forward to attaining by the time you're 30? Did you have some things that you had told yourself, by 30, I want to have done these, I want to have attained these? Now let's get to have a checklist of those things. What did you attain? What didn't you attain? What made you not to attain what you attained? And maybe what do you feel that you really wanted to attain and didn't attain? And maybe again, what did the society expect you to have attained by 30 and you didn't? And maybe to mention some of the common, at times the thing of marriage, there's the way the society really expects someone to be married by 30. And also, personally, I had that expectation. In my mind also, I don't think there's anywhere the thing of me being 30 and not married ever came to my mind. That is something that I didn't see coming. But unto me, here I am, 30 years old, still single, still not married, still enjoying being my daddy's girl. And one thing about this, it's something that it doesn't trouble me. The realities that comes, and at times they don't trouble you. There is one. But then I'm one person who is not troubled by not being married by 30, by not being married at 30. Reason being, there's an age I really anticipated to getting married. There's an age that marriage used to excite me, but at this age it no longer excites me. I no longer see joy, fun, and maybe excitement in marriage. So I'm always like, yes, I'm open to marriage, but it's not something that I'm on my knees and fasting about and all that. No, it's no longer number one in my key prayer items. It's now kinda past the years that I was really into it. And maybe that is one expectation and reality that one the society has, and maybe as an individual I had that I'll have gotten married at 30 and maybe settled in marriage. Not just getting married, but settled. Because I'm one person who really wanted to get married when I was around 24, 25. Whatever happened, that is history. A story for another day. But unto me, I'm here. So another expectation and reality that I would like to touch on is maybe about getting things done. There's a way I thought in my mind that I'll have everything figured out by the time I'm getting to 30. Oh my goodness. I'm just here trying new things. At times feeling I should not be doing this, I should be doing this. There are still things that I'm trying as per now. Yes, that is one reality that I didn't expect, that I'll still be trying new things at 30. I thought by 30 I'll have figured everything out and my life will be sailing and moving on. To me, I'm still here trying new things and maybe leaving some things and feeling that this one should work, this one is not working and such like. So I'm still in that stage of trying and feeling this is failing, this is such like. So I thought I'll have everything figured out, but to me, this one didn't happen. And maybe another expectation that I had, at least I had an expectation that by the time I'll be getting to 30, I'll be driving my own car. And at least the reality is I managed to have bought myself a car and I managed to be confident in driving at this age of 30. That is at least a reality that matches my expectation. And I'm proud myself for that. Having achieved that by the time I'm getting to 30, it took sacrifice. Because for everyone who knows that at times buying your first car is never easy. So it took a lot of sacrifice and I'm proud of that. At least I met that expectation. And maybe another expectation that I had is at least by the time I'll be getting to 30, I'll be self-employed. I also bravo myself that at 30, I'm not employed by anyone. That is also an achievement, and it's also something that I really looked up to. And it's also something that an expectation that I had. At least I'll have freedom of doing, waking up on a Monday and deciding I want to do this, on Tuesday I want to do this, on Wednesday I want to do this. So that is another expectation that at least it's matching my reality, that by 30 I've managed to be self-employed. At least I manage myself. I can wake up and decide Mondays for content creation, Tuesday I need to maybe to go and visit my mom at Ushago. On Wednesday I decide I need to vlog maybe and go and a certain hidden gem. On Wednesday I'll spend the entire day in my business. On Thursday, and such like. And at least I feel I have the freedom of trying various things. If at all I feel this one is not working, I can try this. So that is something that I really looked up to. It's an expectation that I had when I was in my 20s, especially in my late 20s. I really purposed and I really prayed that at least when I'm getting to 30, I be self-employed. That is something else that I can really congratulate myself about, that I've been able to attain. And maybe another expectation versus reality is that by the time I'll be getting to that, I'll have money. Wait, my God, where is that money? I really looked up to having money, at least knowing that my accounts are loaded. I'm not worried. In case of an emergency, I know I have money in my accounts, that this account has this account. Where now this is the reality, where pesa hakuna. At times you even sit and you ask yourself, oh, how old am I? When you look at your age and the balances in your accounts, you're like, where did I go wrong? Where did I miss out? So this issue that I really thought that I'll have at least money. At least I can wake up and decide, do you know what? I want to take a flight to Mombasa. Do you know what? I want to spend my weekend, I don't know, in Nanyuki. Do you know where? Hakuna pesa. So that is a reality that, well, let's now look forward to that is book of 40s, because pesa nayo hakuna. You just having money to do the necessary. Yes, I can congratulate myself, because at least I am able to pay my rent. I am in a good house. I'm able to fuel my car. I'm able to pay my basic needs and at least have 1, 2, 3 things. But the reality is you just work out on those things and you're left with nothing. But what do we do? It's the reality. So that is another expectation versus reality. And maybe another expectation that I had, or maybe something at purpose, at least maybe by the time I'll be getting to 30, I'll maybe be out of lentils. I have built myself a house, or maybe I will have a place of my own. Well, We are still on the process, but not yet there. I'm still on lentils. Bado naishi kwa lentils, but now these are the expectations versus reality. I expected that, but it has not been able, I've not been able to attain it, but I really promise myself that maybe by the time I'll be getting to 40, I'll be there. So that is another reality. So that's another reality that I feel I'm yet to achieve or maybe to attain. And some of the nails that I had really anticipated, an expectation that I had, by the time I'm getting to 30, I would at least have toured several countries. That's why I had ensured that I had a passport when I was very young, because I'd really purposed that. By the time I'm getting to 30, I'll have toured several countries. Do you know what? Sijatoka Kenya. Why? This is what we call reality versus expectation. Actually, my passport is almost expiring and it has not been stamped even once. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Hey, wait. No, hapana. This year I have to get out of Kenya. Hey, at least hata niende hata kama ni Rwanda ama Tanzania ama Uganda bana. This thing over times, let me purpose that before I celebrate my next birthday, I would have at least my passport will be stamped at least once. So I really expected and inspired that I'll have toured countries. But the reality is not a single one. Not a single one. The farthest I've gone maybe in Namanga. Kwa boda ya Tanzania na Kenya. Latez, you need to do something. You need to do something. Oh my God. You know, you are 30, you have not traveled. Passport iko, lakini kutravel wapi? Hey, if at all there is something that I will do in my 30s is traveling. I want to see a change by the time I'm getting to 40. So that is another expectation versus reality that iko hivi. Nothing is even nearer to the expectation. And maybe something else that I had really maybe looked up for, something else that I really anticipated is that having that great commitment to God and such like, you know, since campus days and such like, this that kakaka notion I had. You see, as years go by, how I'll be visiting prayer centers, maybe a month I go to this place, niko Katoroni, niko Heaven's Gate. Well, I had really purposed on how I will work on my spiritual life in Bible exposition, Bible reading and such like, where I had really purposed and looked forward to how I will attain most of these. Yes, I'm somewhere, but I'm still far from what I anticipated, really far from the expectation that I had. Because I'm here, I even don't manage to attend church every Sunday. I'm here. Like now, I don't know the last time I was in a prayer center. It has been quite some months. But I thank God for what I've been able to achieve. At least I pray, I fast, I read the word, and I get to do some various Bible expositions, and I go to church when at least I don't have something that is restraining me. And I can say I'm not to where the reality, I'm far from the reality that I visioned, but I'm still somewhere. At least these are some of the things that I'm trying to like note and get to know what I need to work more on when it comes to this man, when it comes to my that decade. So that is another reality that kidogo ina deviate from what I looked up to. And maybe something else, there's an anticipation that I had or expectation that I had. I really wanted by the time I'm getting to 30, at least I would have done at least something for my parents. Do you know that feeling you always feel? At least now that your parents, they sacrificed, they did everything they did for you, at least you go back there and you do something tangible. Something, you know, everyone knows the state of their home. There are some people who go to build. There are some people maybe who you feel you want to do this and this. There are even people who buy their parents cars. Others, they buy them land and such like. Everyone knows the state of their home. For myself, not building or such like, but at least I look for something that I'll do for my parents and I feel satisfied within my heart that, do you know what? I may not pay my parents or maybe I may not like return back everything they did to me, but at least I have something that I've gone back and did. Pesa iko happy, but one thing that I always say is that we live by hope. I still have the belief and the hope that I'll still go back and just appreciate or maybe do something for my mom, for mom and dad. Do something at home, and at least every time I visit there, I'll be saying, at least I did this and this. There are several things that I know I can do, but wapi pesa? At times I go home and I'm like, I just wish I had money. I just wish I was able to, at least I do this, at least I do this, at least I do this. And one thing we always say that make your prayers known to God. God knows. And these are some of the things that I don't tire reminding God. That, do you know what, God? There's this and this that I want to go and do back at home. Help me, God. So in this that decade, I hope and I pray and I believe that I'll be able to go back home and at least do something. And not necessarily even at home or even maybe at church where I grew up and such like, and just going back to give to the community and such like, to parents, to the church, to the community and such like, at least. Yes. Even one time you just go to the neighboring schools where I have come from, even buy something like sanitary pads and go and give those girls in those neighboring schools. And just something to give back to the community. You know, at the time it's always good to appreciate the praise or maybe the people, the community that brought you up. Yes, that is an expectation or maybe something I really looked up to. And I've not yet been able to attain it, but I know I'll get to attain it in the years to come. Maybe something else that I really look forward to is getting my YouTube channel monetized, or maybe getting to 100, getting to 1,000 subscribers, getting my YouTube monetized. But it happened that in between, was it last year? Yes, last year. There's a duration of several months that I was very that I wasn't active in YouTube, and it actually dragged my journey to monetization backwards. I was almost getting there, but something came up. I became reluctant, I became lazy and such like. But yes, I've gotten 30. I'm not monetized. I've gotten 30. I've not even yet attained the threshold of maybe even 1K subscribers. But one thing that I know, as I celebrate my next decade, the story gonna be different. So if you're there and you haven't subscribed, kindly make this thing a reality. Subscribe. At least I get to 1K subscribers, and maybe from there I can know I'm just working on content to ensure that I get monetized. And most of it all, I looked forward to being alive and healthy by the time I'm getting to 30. These are things that you just hope and trust God for. And see, I'm healthy, I'm alive, everything is running. At least I'm not insane. My mind is operating well, and everything is just running smoothly. Irrespective of maybe the things that I feel that I'm not yet there, but one thing that I know is that things are working. My life is going on. At least I have the privilege of having all my parents, all my siblings are healthy, and their things are running well. And I have so many blessings surrounding me that I can say, irrespective of anything, the many blessings that I can count, that is enough for it all. So as much as maybe my expectations must not match the reality, other than maybe the things that I expected, there's other things that God has showered me with that maybe were not even in my line of expectation. So that's why in life you just learn to be grateful, because you might have planned things and God just do extra. So I'm grateful for what I've achieved. I'm grateful for what God has made me achieve to this extent. I know it's never easy. It has not been easy, but His grace has been sufficient upon my life. I'm really grateful, and I really thank God. I'm one person who at times, I don't take things for granted. I don't take anything for granted, because there's nothing that just happens. Because even right now as we talk, there is someone who lost a sibling, someone who lost maybe a child, someone who lost a parent, someone who lost such like, yani, we just live by the grace and the mercies of God. And at times when we realize these things, we fail even to focus on the many big things, and we just live by the masses of the little things that at times we take for granted. So I'm one this person who I never like feel a type of way just because this and this has not happened. No, I'm glad of what I have been, I'm glad of what I've achieved, and I'm glad of where I am at part today. And all I do is work hard, trust on God, and pray on Him more, because I know by Him everything is possible. So those are my expectation versus reality as I was getting to 30. And all in it all, I'm glad and I'm grateful to the Almighty God. And until next time, bye bye. Love you.